Hello and welcome to Bird Talk Radio. I am your host, Joshua Martin. I'll be going over the games, the scores, and, everything Philadelphia Eagles. Go Birds. Now let's start the show. Hello, all you beautiful people out there, and welcome to another edition of Sports Talk, brought to you by Bird Talk Radio. I am your host for this beautiful evening, Joshua Martin. The what? Oh, I kind of rushed Katie into this one, but yeah, I'm taping it right now. I'm actually live right now on my Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, so I guess I can edit it if need be. But yeah, I am your host for this evening, Joshua Martin. We'll just go over what happened in Week 11 NFL. I'll go super speedy quick on this one. And then we'll do a little basketball talk as well, if that sounds good to y'all out there. Again, if you want to call into the studio, 888-994-4995. Studio A. I want some heated debates, some heated conversations, some just debates. Yeah. All right, so this past Thursday, November 17th, we had the Titans versus the Packers. Packers lose another one after that beautiful win against the Cowboys. They come back and lose a game again. They lost to the Titans this time, who they played decent. I mean, they scored every quarter, so I guess that if you score every quarter, you're bound to at least win, right? Derrick Henry, he had a decent game, 28 carries, 87 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Ryan Tannehill, the Tennessee Titans quarterback, he passed for 2 touchdowns in that win over the Green Bay Packers. And they lead the AFC South with a 7-3 record. Moving on to the 1 o'clock games, we had the Bears and the Falcons, which was a really good game. Justin Fields got carted off at the end to see, especially when he has another unbelievable statistic game. I'm going to call it that now. He had an unbelievable statistic game. He went 14 of 21, 153 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown. He also ran the ball 18 times. 18 times for a quarterback, he ran the ball. 85 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. And then their leading reception, their leader for Chicago in that game for receiving yards was the running back for 3 receptions, 54 receiving yards. Chicago needs to work on that a little bit. Falcons win another one. They're 5-6, and especially with how the Buccaneers are playing right now, the Falcons have a good chance to win the NFC South this time. The NFC South. Falcons have a 5-6 record right now, though, below 500. Obviously, that needs to be improved. They got the win in that one, though, which is nice to see. Browns and Bills, they played in Detroit, and if you look up the images of the stadium the weekend of that game, you'll know why they played in Detroit. There was snow. I think it was expected 6 feet of snow. And that is taller than the running back from the Browns, Nick Chubb, who's 5'11", and it's taller than Devin Singletary, the running back for the Buffalo Bills. So it would have been just a funny sight to see. But they did play in Detroit, Motor City. Buffalo Bills got the win in that one, 31-23. Jacoby Brissett had a really nice game in that one. So did Amari Cooper, the wide receiver for the Browns now. He had 8 receptions, 113 receiving yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. Jacoby Brissett threw for 3 touchdowns, but still, just Josh Allen and the Bills they were more dominant. They came out with the win in that one, 31-23. Eagles and Colts. We can pull up that first image while I talk about this, Katie, I guess. Jonathan Taylor, the man right there, I'm glad we put an end to him because he was about to run all over us. But I was driving home And I was driving back from Orlando, and I kept saying, "Okay, Google, what's the score of the game or whatever?" My phone just vibrated right now, but it kept saying 13-3, third quarter, 13-3, 13-3. I'm like, what is going on? I come home, 13-3, yeah, and I come home to a score of 16-10, okay? And I come back when the Eagles get their last possession, and that's all they needed. They were waiting for me to come back home and watch them. I think that's what it was, because once when I came back, they had that beautiful drive marching all the way down the field. They got in the red zone. They were giving the ball to Miles Sanders plenty of times. The ball, because I think he can throw the ball perfectly, and I think he has shown that this year. And I think that's the same thing with Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, and all these dual threat quarterbacks, especially Justin Fields now, getting, what was it, 18 carries, 18 or running for 18 times a game. A quarterback should be a quarterback first, and then if he can use his legs after that, that's what is killer. And I know if we pull up that next image, I know Jalen Hurts, he ran into the end zone for the game-winning touchdown per se, and it was a beautiful. This isn't an exact play, but it was just exactly like this. The middle was wide open. Jason Kelce, instead of being the lead blocker, he kind of ran out to the right to draw a little illusion, and it kind of opened up the hole in the middle, and Jalen Hurts ran straight through. Got the touchdown for the win, but I don't know, man. It's just the risk of injury. I think that's what it is, and I would just like to see these quarterbacks be a quarterback first instead of just having them running the ball. It would be like a wildcat formation basically the whole time. But we did a win's a win. We got the win in that one, 17-6, 17-16. Got the win over the Colts. The Jets and the Patriots. I don't really want to talk about Zach Wilson because he's probably done. He's probably not done, actually, because he is a number 2 overall pick. We can go back ISO on me, by the way. But he's a number 2 overall pick. Whatever Robert Saleh does is what Robert Saleh does. He's obviously showcased that he is a defensive mastermind and that he can create a top 5 defense with whatever team he goes to. But obviously, I'll just say Zach Wilson ain't it. I don't think he is. Even Mac Jones didn't do that good, but he didn't. I don't know where it is, because the score was 3-3 at the end of the half. Okay, there was no offense that whole game. It was straight up defense. And then Marcus Jones of the New England Patriots gets an 84-yard punt return. And when they got the touchdown, there was literally only 5 seconds left in the game. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Wow! Yeah, thank you for the sound effects. The Patriots got the win in that one, 10-3. And I believe, no, there was more 1 o'clock games. So still going on to the 1 o'clock games, the Saints and the Rams. The Saints got the win in that one, 27-20. Like I said, I'm going to say it every game, every day. I have no idea what's up with the Rams. I don't know why they're losing. I don't know why they're this bad. I have no idea. I just have no answers. Andy Dalton played good. Chris Olave, the rookie wide receiver out of Ohio State, he had a beautiful game. He's having a beautiful season as so far as a rookie. Andy Dalton threw for 3 touchdowns. Chris Olave 5 receptions for 102 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown. It was a 52-yard receiving touchdown too for Chris Olave. Yeah, the Saints just got the win in that one. That's all it is, really. They just won that game. A surprising win, I will say, because it was played in New York, was the Lions versus the Giants. The Lions did come out with the win in that one. It looks like they just, I don't want to say dominated the game. They just kept the offense pushing down that whole game. First quarter, just a field goal. Second quarter, they got 14 points. Third quarter, a touchdown. Fourth quarter, a touchdown. And they just got the win 31-18 over the Giants. I don't think it's a concern at all. I think the Lions are a good team. I think the Giants are a good team too. Maybe they just got a little too in their head saying, oh, we're just going against the Lions or something, you know. But the Lions got the win, that one 31-18. Giants are now 7-3. I believe they're tied with the Cowboys. Or the Cowboys probably have the lead because the Cowboys had that one win over the Giants that one Monday night. So Giants are in third place with the same record as the Cowboys in the NFC East. Panthers and Ravens. The Ravens got the win in that one, 13-3. Just another slow game. It was 3-0 at halftime. Panthers only came out with a field goal, and then the Ravens scored 10 points in the fourth quarter. They got the win in that one. Lamar Jackson ran it in for a 1-yard touchdown. That was the only touchdown of the game. It is what it is. The Ravens are in the lead of their Division 2 now, actually 7-3 in the AFC North. And I don't think they got a team to look out for. Deshaun Watson comes back week 13, I believe. And then, what's the other team? The Bengals. Jamar Chase is coming back soon. I don't think the Bengals are a divisional winning team. They may make it into the playoffs with a wild card, hopefully. But I think the Ravens will be fine. I think they'll be fine in winning that division. Commanders and Texans. That was actually a dominant game by the Commanders. Even you gotta watch this one tackle they made by Dameon Pierce. They basically suplexed the man. But Heineke just there wasn't any outstanding numbers at all. Brandon Cooks is back. 3 receptions, 70 yards. But nothing over the top though. Texans are 8-1 on the season. They'll probably get the number 1 overall pick. With that number 1 overall pick, if I had to guess, they'll probably get Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, a franchise quarterback. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. The Commanders are 6-5 now. Everyone in the NFC East is above 500, and everyone in the AFC East is above 500 as well too. Huge difference from 2 years ago, talking about the NFC East, because the Eagles made it into they won their division going, it was during 16 games. I think they won the division 8-8. That sounds about right to me. That's terrible. It was either 8-8, 9-7. That season was terrible for the NFC East. But we've changed things around now. Raiders and Broncos, that was actually a pretty exciting game. That one went into overtime. And then just a beautiful lob to Davante Adams, wide open, call the game, go home. Raiders win that one. And the Raiders, they have 3 wins on the season, but 2 of them came for the Broncos. Take with that what you will, but I don't know who's worse, the Broncos or the Raiders. And it's kind of sad because both of the teams should be playoff teams. I mean, the Raiders picked up Davante Adams and he's playing good. And they still have a good team. Broncos have one of the best defenses in the league, but their offense is just not there at all. At all. Davante Adams finished that game 7 receptions, 141 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. And like I said, got that beautiful walk-off touchdown in overtime. The most dominant performance from Sunday was by far the Dallas Cowboys over their win of the Minnesota Vikings. They scored 40 points and only gave up 3 to the Minnesota Vikings. 40-3 was the final score. It obviously matched that whole thing together. There's a stat. Kirk Cousins 39 consecutive games of throwing a passing touchdown has come to an end. Dallas Cowboys stopped that. Micah Parsons, another beautiful game. 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble. And then Tony Pollard. And if you watch that game, Tony Romo and even, what's his name on Get Up? Max Greeny, I think that's his name. They both reinstated it, but Tony Romo said it about Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott about who's going to have the number 1 spot, okay? Because Tony Pollard or what he said is, it doesn't matter who starts at running back, okay? Zeke Elliott can start at running back, but if Tony Pollard gets more touches of the ball, more handoffs, that's their running back 1, RB1, okay? And I think that's what Tony Pollard needs. He doesn't have that big physical strength that Zeke has. But Tony Pollard he's elusive. And he can give you yards. He can give you massive yards. So I think if you stick with him as your main running back, and then you give the ball to Zeke on like a 3rd and 1 or 4th and inches, or like you're on the 2-yard line, 1-yard line, and you need just to stuff it into the middle and run it in straight into the end zone, that's where you look out for Zeke. That's where you put him in. But Tony Pollard, just 15 carries, 80 rushing yards, but he also had 6 receptions for 109 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. Just explosive game out of the Dallas Cowboys. And got the win over that one. Kind of scared of them. I'm not going to lie, kind of scared of them. Bengals and Steelers. That was a pretty close game, pretty exciting game actually too. The Bengals did get the win in that one. Joe Burrow threw for 4 touchdowns. T. Higgins had a big role in that game. 9 receptions. Wide receiver for the Bengals. 9 receptions, 148 receiving yards. And they got the win in that one, 37-30 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then Sunday night game, which it looked very hopeful for the Chargers out there. Then just Mahomes is Mahomes. Travis Kelce is Travis Kelce. And the Chiefs are just the Chiefs. I don't know what to say. I really don't. But the Chiefs won that one, 30-27. Travis Kelce had 6 receptions, 115 receiving yards as a tight end, and 3 receiving touchdowns. It's hard to stop him. It really is. I got nothing else for that. And then Monday night, last night, they played in Mexico City. Like I said, I love the game being international, or taking it international. We saw them play in Germany, I think it was last week or a couple weeks ago, with the Bucks and the Seahawks. 20-29, 228 passing yards, and four passing touchdowns from Jimmy G. Yeah. Dominant performance. They got the win in that one, 38-10. Just domination. And you'll see my top 5 teams. There's some surprising teams in there, but you'll see why. Or I'll tell you why, I should say. Teams that had the bye week, Dolphins, Seahawks, Buccaneers, and Jaguars. We'll see them play, obviously, next week. But I think for right now, I'm just going to take a quick commercial break, maybe just one little commercial. And when I come back, I'll give you my top 5 teams, and then we can wrap this thing up. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. In a world.
Here's everyone. I'm your host, Daniel.
That is terrible.
Where movies and trivia collide.
I'm a vampire.
Twilight.
2 ridiculously good-looking game show hosts.
I'm your host, Daniel.
And I am Joshua Martin.
Will tackle the challenge of being the best at movie trivia.
All right, this is about a board game that comes to life.
This guy repeats his day over and over and over again.
The power of Christ compels you.
Movie Wars.
Hello and welcome back to your Sports Talk, brought to you by Bird Talk Radio. I'm your host, Joshua Martin, and right now I'm going to give you my top 5 teams going into, I think we're going into week 12? We're in week 12 of football already. Time is flying. All right, let's pull up my top 5 teams, and I'll go over them with you real quick. I put the Eagles back in first place because we do have the best team in the league, and I do think we have the best team in the league. What did I say? We have the best record in the league, and I think we have the best team in the league as well. Until I see something, and I don't know if anyone watches this, but I know I spelled Philadelphia wrong. I'm sorry about that. I'm not the greatest with grammar, English, language, anything of that sort of nature. But yeah, I got the Philadelphia Eagles in first place. Kansas City Chiefs, I have them at number 2. I still think, and I'll stand by it, I think the Bills are going to make it to the Super Bowl. I think they're the best team in the AFC. As of right now, I don't have them in my top 5, though. They have a lot of things to work on, and one thing I do think they need to work on is Josh Allen. But yeah, I got the Chiefs because they're the safe bet for the AFC. They're always going to be the safe bet for the AFC. But I got the Dallas Cowboys at number 3, especially with that dominant performance of the Vikings. They're a scary team to look out for, especially with Dak coming back, and especially his confidence coming back, because that's kind of key when you come back from injury, is how you perform. If you can perform the way you did previous of that injury. I mean, if you played sports out there, you know how it is coming back from an injury. It's kind of scary at first. It really is. But it seems like he's doing a lot better. He's getting more comfortable. He's getting more confident. And the defense is just the defense is good. It's good. Yeah. I think Dallas and Philadelphia are 2 teams that have no holes in them. As of right now, I don't think they have any holes. Maybe Dallas is secondary because I don't think Trayvon Diggs is the greatest cornerback. I don't think he's really that good. But yeah, I think those teams are really complete. In the 4th spot, I do have the AFC leading Miami Dolphins. When Tua's there and he stays there, they're a good team. I said it last time. He does have a very accurate ball when the ball is thrown 25 yards or less. But when it goes to those deep throws, it's just not a pretty sight. But they have a strong defense. They picked up Bradley Chubb before the trade deadline, so they have a veteran linebacker. I think he's a linebacker or defensive end. Good pickup for them. Xavier Howard's still there, just really good secondary. I think the Dolphins they're a good team this year. They really are a good team. And then at number 5, I guess I didn't complete the name of that one, but San Francisco 49ers. I think that's a team we really do have to look out for. I said this probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. As long as that team stays healthy, I think they'll be in good hands. And if Jimmy Garoppolo plays like he did last night, they're in really good hands, especially Christian McCaffrey. They just picked him up. George Kittle looks good. And in their division, the Rams aren't doing good, like I said, for whatever reason. Cardinals, I don't know what's up with them. They're not doing good either. They're 4-7. The only team they really have to look out for is the Seahawks. But that's a very inexperienced team, and they lost Jamal Adams at the beginning of the season as well, too. So I don't know how things will end for the Seahawks, but I do have the 49ers winning that their division, and I do have them as my number 5 team in the NFL as of right now. This has been the Sports Talk section brought to you by Bird Talk Radio. And before I leave right now, for all you Philadelphia fans out there, Tonight is going to be a beautiful game for the 76ers. I know Joel Embiid is not there right now, but just watch the first 5 minutes of the game. 5-10 minutes. Well, okay, watch 5 minutes of the pregame and the first 5 minutes of the game. The crowd is going to be rowdy. The Brooklyn Nets are coming in town, and Ben Simmons is coming back home to Philadelphia. He hasn't been there. He hasn't played in Philadelphia, that stadium, in 886 days. It's going to be fun. Just watch it. All right, I'm your host, Joshua Martin. I go live I don't know now because I'm on a Tuesday. I go live every Monday at 11 a.m. though. Bird Talk Radio 2022. And I'll catch you next time. Peace out.
Thank you for watching Bird Talk Radio. Again, I am your host, Joshua Martin. If you want to contact me or be on the show, just email me at birdtalkradio2022@gmail.com, or you can call in during the show at 888-994-4995 in Studio A. Have a wonderful day, and remember, go Birds.